Roscoe, a beer for the man with the beard, and I will have a Polynesian pearl dye, but do not spare the rum.
$300 million, $7 billion in worldwide box office, an Oscar that took 25 years to win. This is the empire of Leonardo DiCaprio, Hollywood's most selective superstar. From a struggling child actor repeatedly told he wasn't attractive enough to be a leading man, to the face of Titanic, a phenomenon that grossed over $2 billion and transformed him into the biggest star on the planet virtually overnight. Yet at the height of his fame, he made a decision that defied all Hollywood logic. He walked away from easy money, rejected mainstream blockbusters, and vowed to work only with legendary directors like Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, and Christopher Nolan. A gamble that turned a teen heartthrob into one of the most respected actors of his generation. His sprawling real estate portfolio spans Hollywood Hills mansions, Malibu beachfronts, New York penthouses, and even a private island in Belize. His social circle includes tech billionaires, hedge fund titans, and the global elite. His dating history reads like a Victoria's Secret catalog, a parade of models who mysteriously never age past 25, even as he does. But behind the carefully crafted image of artistic integrity lies a glaring contradiction. The same man who speaks at UN climate summits and produces environmental documentaries travels by private jet, vacations on gas-guzzling superyachts, and maintains multiple energy-consuming mansions around the world. How did a kid from a rough Los Angeles neighborhood outwork and outlast everyone to become one of the most powerful actors in Hollywood? What drives his obsessive selectivity with roles that's kept him out of every major franchise? And after decades at the top, will Leonardo DiCaprio remain untouchable, or is Hollywood ready to move on? Before Leonardo DiCaprio became one of the most respected actors in Hollywood, he was just another kid in Los Angeles, dreaming of stardom. Unlike many of his peers, he didn't come from a long line of Hollywood insiders or industry elites. His path to success was filled with rejection, struggle, and the constant fear that he wasn't leading man material. But from an early age, DiCaprio had something most actors spend years trying to develop: undeniable charisma and raw talent. His journey from auditioning for commercials to starring in one of the highest-grossing films of all time is a story of perseverance, risk-taking, and perfect timing. So how did a boy from a working-class neighborhood go from bit roles on TV to winning an Oscar and leading billion-dollar films? His rise to fame wasn't just about luck, it was about outworking and outlasting everyone else. Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974 in Los Angeles, California. His parents, George DiCaprio and Irmelin Indenberken, were divorced while he was still quite young, but both played an active role in his upbringing. Unlike many Hollywood stars who grew up in exclusive, gated communities, Leonardo was raised in a rougher part of Los Angeles where crime and poverty were part of daily life. Despite the challenges, his parents encouraged his creative side. His father was deeply involved in the underground comic book scene, introducing Leonardo to art, storytelling, and performance from an early age. But it wasn't until he saw his first movie, Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, that he knew he wanted to be an actor. DiCaprio was a hyperactive, high-energy kid, and his mother enrolled him in acting classes to channel his energy into something productive. It didn't take long before he realized this was his true calling. But breaking into Hollywood wasn't easy. As a child, Leonardo DiCaprio faced constant rejection. He was told repeatedly that he wasn't conventionally attractive enough to be a leading man. Casting directors suggested that he change his name to something more American-sounding to improve his chances of landing roles, but he refused, choosing instead to rely on his talent rather than a manufactured Hollywood image. His first acting jobs were in TV commercials, appearing in ads for brands like Matchbox cars and Kraft Foods. While it wasn't the big break he had hoped for, it gave him experience in front of the camera and a paycheck to help support his single mother. But DiCaprio wanted more. He wanted real acting roles. His first shot at television came with small guest appearances on shows like Roseanne and The New Lassie. These roles were minor, but they helped him build a resume and get noticed by casting directors. Then, in 1990, he landed his first major recurring role in the short-lived sitcom Parenthood. Though the show was canceled after one season, DiCaprio's performance stood out. It wasn't long before he caught the attention of producers who were looking for a young actor with serious dramatic ability. In 1991, Leonardo DiCaprio landed a recurring role on Growing Pains, one of the most popular family sitcoms of the time. Playing Luke Brower, a homeless teenager taken in by the Seaver family, he quickly became a fan favorite. But while the show introduced him to a wider audience, DiCaprio knew that sitcoms weren't his end goal. He wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. His opportunity came in 1993, when he was cast in This Boy's Life, starring opposite Robert De Niro. The film told the story of an abusive stepfather and a rebellious son, giving DiCaprio his first leading dramatic role. De Niro, already an acting legend, personally selected DiCaprio for the part after an extensive audition process. Working alongside one of the greatest actors of all time was a career-defining moment for the young star. He wasn't just another teenage actor. He had the potential for greatness. Critics took notice. DiCaprio's performance was widely praised, and it became clear that he wasn't just another teen idol, he was a real actor with serious depth. After proving himself in This Boy's Life, DiCaprio landed another major role, a mentally disabled teenager in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. The film, which starred Johnny Depp, was an emotional drama that required DiCaprio to deliver a performance far beyond his years. And he delivered. At just 19 years old, Leonardo DiCaprio was nominated for his first Academy Award. Critics called his performance astonishing, heartbreaking, and one of the best in years. Though he didn't win, the nomination put him on Hollywood's radar. He was no longer just a young actor with potential, he was one of the most promising talents of his generation. But while critical acclaim was important, DiCaprio knew that if he wanted to truly become a global star, he needed a film that would introduce him to mainstream audiences worldwide. That moment came in 1996, when he took on the role of Romeo in Romeo plus Juliet. The modern adaptation of Shakespeare's classic tragedy was a huge success, grossing over $147 million worldwide. But it was nothing compared to what came next. In 1997, Leonardo DiCaprio starred in James Cameron's Titanic. At the time, no one could have predicted just how massive the film would become. Playing Jack Dawson, the free-spirited artist who falls in love with Rose, played by Kate Winslet, DiCaprio became the face of a global phenomenon. Titanic shattered box office records, grossing over $2 billion worldwide and turning Leonardo DiCaprio into the biggest star on the planet. Overnight, he went from critically respected actor to international heartthrob. Fans screamed his name wherever he went, his face was plastered on magazine covers, and he became the ultimate symbol of Hollywood's golden boy. But for DiCaprio, the sudden fame wasn't entirely welcome. He didn't want to be just another teen idol, he wanted longevity. Rather than cashing in on his Titanic fame with romantic films and mainstream blockbusters, DiCaprio made a surprising decision. He started turning down roles. Instead, he chose to work only with legendary directors, take on challenging roles, and reinvent himself as a serious actor. It was a risky move, but it would ultimately define his career. By the end of the 90s, Leonardo DiCaprio had achieved more than most actors ever dream of, but he wasn't done yet. His decision to work with directors like Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, and Christopher Nolan would shape the next phase of his career, turning him from a former teen heartthrob into one of the most respected actors of all time. But with fame, success, and wealth came controversy, scrutiny, and a lifestyle that raised eyebrows. Leonardo DiCaprio has spent more than 3 decades in Hollywood, carefully crafting his image as both an elite actor and an environmental activist. But behind the Oscar wins and blockbuster films lies another side of DiCaprio, one defined by staggering wealth, extravagant properties, and a lifestyle reserved for the world's most powerful elite. With a net worth reportedly exceeding $300 million, he has invested in some of the most luxurious real estate in the world, amassed a fleet of rare and high-end vehicles, and gained access to exclusive parties, private islands, and high society gatherings that only the ultra-rich can attend. But for a man who publicly advocates for climate change action, his frequent use of private jets, super yachts, and lavish energy-consuming properties has raised questions about whether his lifestyle matches his message. So how does Leonardo DiCaprio really live? And has his wealth and influence come at the cost of his credibility? Few Hollywood stars have invested in real estate as strategically as Leonardo DiCaprio. Unlike many celebrities who buy and sell homes on a whim, DiCaprio has spent more than 2 decades carefully acquiring properties in some of the most exclusive locations in the world. One of his most famous properties is his primary residence in the Hollywood Hills, a sprawling estate overlooking Los Angeles that he purchased for $2 million in the late 1990s. Over the years, he has expanded and renovated the home, adding features such as an infinity pool, a private movie theater, and energy-efficient upgrades. But Los Angeles is just one piece of his growing real estate empire. He owns a beachfront mansion in Malibu, purchased for more than $23 million, as well as a luxury penthouse in New York City, which he reportedly bought for more than $10 million. DiCaprio's investments extend far beyond the United States. He also owns a private island in Belize where he is developing an eco-friendly resort, a project he claims will be one of the world's first fully sustainable luxury destinations. While his real estate portfolio is undeniably impressive, it has also raised eyebrows. Many have pointed out that owning multiple massive homes, private islands, and energy-consuming estates seems contradictory to his outspoken stance on climate change. For years, Leonardo DiCaprio has been one of the loudest voices in the fight against climate change. Through his Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, he has donated millions of dollars to environmental causes, produced documentaries about the dangers of global warming, and even spoken at United Nations climate summits. But his personal lifestyle has drawn heavy criticism. Despite promoting sustainable living, DiCaprio frequently travels by private jet, a mode of transportation that produces one of the highest levels of carbon emissions per passenger. Reports suggest that he has taken dozens of private flights in a single year, leading many to accuse him of preaching one thing while doing another. And it's not just air travel. His love for super yachts has also sparked backlash. In recent years, he has been spotted vacationing on yachts owned by oil billionaires, raising questions about whether his environmental activism is genuine or simply part of his public image. Beyond jets and yachts, DiCaprio also owns an impressive collection of luxury cars. While he has made an effort to include electric vehicles like the Tesla Roadster, his collection also features high-performance sports cars and classic luxury vehicles that don't exactly align with his eco-friendly persona. The hypocrisy debate continues to follow him. While DiCaprio has made genuine contributions to climate activism, his extravagant travel and lifestyle choices have led some to question whether he is truly committed to his cause or simply enjoys the perks of wealth too much to give them up. Leonardo DiCaprio is more than just an actor, he is part of an elite club of Hollywood's most powerful figures. Over the years, he has built close relationships with billionaires, royalty, tech moguls, and fellow A-list actors, making him one of the most well-connected people in entertainment. One of his most famous friendships is with Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, with whom he has been seen at high-profile events and private gatherings. He is also frequently spotted alongside business magnates, hedge fund billionaires, and European aristocrats, further cementing his status as a member of the global elite. But DiCaprio's social life isn't just about business connections. It's also about having access to the most exclusive parties and events in the world. He has been known to host private yacht parties in the south of France, attend secret celebrity poker games, and even travel with entire entourages of models and close friends to exotic locations. His ability to navigate both Hollywood and high society has made him one of the most influential figures in entertainment, but it has also led to speculation about how much of his influence comes from his talent and how much comes from his connections. Leonardo DiCaprio's wealth isn't just about real estate and luxury travel, he has expensive tastes in nearly every aspect of his life. One of his biggest interests is fine art. DiCaprio is known for spending millions of dollars on rare paintings and sculptures, with some pieces reportedly worth tens of millions of dollars. His collection includes works from famous artists like Jean-Michel Basquiat, Pablo Picasso, and Salvador Dali. Beyond art, he is also a watch collector, with a collection that includes custom-made Rolex and Patek Philippe timepieces. Many of his watches are one-of-a-kind, featuring diamond-encrusted bezels and rare materials. And then there are his vacations. DiCaprio doesn't just go on vacation, he takes luxury to another level. Whether it's renting entire private islands, staying in secluded five-star resorts, or flying friends out to remote destinations, his travel experiences cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per trip. For Leonardo DiCaprio, money isn't just about wealth. It's about access to a lifestyle that very few people in the world can experience. Leonardo DiCaprio has spent decades building one of the most financially successful careers in Hollywood. But while his bank account continues to grow, so do the criticisms of his extravagant lifestyle. His lavish spending, frequent private jet use, and multi-million-dollar properties have fueled ongoing debates about whether he is truly as environmentally conscious as he claims to be. But for DiCaprio, the controversy doesn't seem to matter. He continues to enjoy the best that life has to offer, surrounding himself with wealth, power, and luxury at every turn. Leonardo DiCaprio's career isn't just a story of success, it's a blueprint for Hollywood dominance. Over the past 3 decades, he has transformed from a teen actor fighting for serious roles into one of the most bankable and critically acclaimed stars in history. Unlike many actors who fade after a few big hits, DiCaprio has maintained his status at the top for decades. He has led films that have grossed billions of dollars worldwide, worked with Hollywood's most legendary directors, and built a career defined by risk-taking, reinvention, and record-breaking achievements. But how did DiCaprio break industry barriers, build an Oscar-winning legacy, and remain one of Hollywood's most powerful figures for more than 30 years? Let's break down the milestones that turned him into one of the most accomplished actors of all time. Hollywood is filled with actors who explode onto the scene, enjoy a few years of success, and then fade into obscurity. Leonardo DiCaprio was expected to be one of them. After the worldwide phenomenon that was Titanic, he could have easily leaned into heartthrob roles starring in romantic dramas and mainstream blockbusters. Studios lined up to offer him easy box-office hits, but DiCaprio made a surprising move. He turned them all down. Instead of cashing in on his leading man looks, he strategically pivoted towards challenging, critically respected roles, working almost exclusively with auteurs and visionary directors. This decision didn't just elevate his career, it reshaped his entire legacy. He wasn't just a former teen idol, he was a serious actor with longevity, and it paid off. One of the secrets to DiCaprio's continued dominance is his ability to collaborate with Hollywood's most powerful filmmakers. Unlike many actors who build their careers around blockbuster franchises and superhero roles, Leonardo DiCaprio has followed a different path. His approach to selecting films has always been deliberate. If a director isn't regarded as one of the greats, the project isn't worth his time. One of the strongest examples of this strategy is his long-standing collaboration with Martin Scorsese, a partnership that has spanned over 2 decades. Since the early 2000s, DiCaprio has starred in multiple films under Scorsese's direction, including a gritty historical drama, an intense psychological thriller, and a high-stakes crime saga. From their first collaboration in Gangs of New York to their most recent project, Killers of the Flower Moon, every film they've worked on together has not only achieved box office success but also earned widespread critical acclaim and award recognition. Their partnership has defined DiCaprio's career, reinforcing his reputation as one of the most respected actors in Hollywood. Beyond Scorsese, DiCaprio has worked with Quentin Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, and Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, further solidifying his reputation as one of the most selective and respected actors in the industry. Leonardo DiCaprio's films don't just receive critical acclaim, they dominate the global box office. Over the course of his career, he has starred in films that have collectively earned more than $7 billion worldwide, proving his ability to balance artistic integrity with commercial success. His breakout role in Titanic cemented his status as a box office powerhouse, with the film grossing over $2 billion and becoming one of the highest-grossing movies of all time. Years later, he continued his streak with Inception, a mind-bending sci-fi thriller that brought in more than $800 million worldwide. His portrayal of the reckless and controversial Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street generated $400 million, while Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a nostalgic tribute to old Hollywood, added another $377 million to his growing list of box office hits. Through strategic role selection and collaborations with top-tier directors, DiCaprio has ensured that his films are not only critically respected but also financially successful. What makes this even more impressive is that none of these films are traditional superhero blockbusters. They are original, high-concept movies driven by DiCaprio's star power and storytelling choices. For years, Leonardo DiCaprio's lack of an Oscar win became one of Hollywood's biggest running jokes. Despite delivering one standout performance after another, Leonardo DiCaprio spent years watching the Academy Awards slip through his fingers. Each nomination brought hope, only to end in yet another disappointment, turning his Oscar losses into an ongoing joke across the internet. Fans flooded social media with memes, viral posts, and lighthearted ridicule, poking fun at how one of Hollywood's most celebrated actors remained without an Academy Award. His first major snub came in 1994 for What's Eating Gilbert Grape, a role that had critics praising his raw emotional performance. More than a decade later, he faced another loss in 2005 for The Aviator, followed by another in 2007 for Blood Diamond. Even after The Wolf of Wall Street in 2014, which showcased his comedic timing and dramatic depth, the Oscar still remained out of reach. Year after year, the pattern continued, making his long-awaited win feel like an uphill battle. Finally, in 2016, after years of near wins, DiCaprio won his first Academy Award for The Revenant. The moment became one of the most viral events in Oscar history, with social media exploding in celebration of DiCaprio's long-overdue victory. While one Oscar may seem small compared to his career achievements, winning officially validated him as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Leonardo DiCaprio has built a legacy that extends far beyond Hollywood, establishing himself as a passionate advocate for environmental conservation. His commitment to sustainability took shape in 1998 when he founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, an organization dedicated to addressing climate change, protecting wildlife, and promoting global sustainability. Over the years, he has used both his influence and financial resources to support critical environmental efforts, contributing tens of millions of dollars to initiatives aimed at preserving endangered species, restoring marine ecosystems, and advancing renewable energy research. His foundation has also played a significant role in the fight against deforestation and ocean pollution, funding projects that combat the destruction of natural habitat. Through his activism, DiCaprio has positioned himself as one of the most vocal and influential figures in the fight for a more sustainable planet, using his platform to raise awareness and drive real change. His documentary, Before the Flood in 2016, brought worldwide attention to climate change, and he has personally met with world leaders including Pope Francis and former President Barack Obama to advocate for environmental policies. While some have criticized his lavish lifestyle and private jet use, his contributions to global sustainability efforts remain significant. Leonardo DiCaprio's career is the result of decades of discipline, risk-taking, and an unrelenting commitment to quality filmmaking. His ability to maintain relevance, evolve with the industry, and avoid the Hollywood trap of overexposure has made him one of the most respected actors of all time. But while his career is untouchable, his personal life hasn't been without controversy. Leonardo DiCaprio has built an untouchable career, mastering the art of staying relevant in Hollywood for more than 3 decades. He has worked with the most prestigious directors, headlined billion-dollar films, and earned widespread critical acclaim. But while his professional life remains spotless, his personal choices have often been a topic of scrutiny. For years, DiCaprio's dating history, high-profile friendships, and environmental activism have sparked heated debates. His pattern of exclusively dating young models under 25, his extravagant lifestyle that goes against his climate activism, and his close ties to billionaires and power players have led to accusations of hypocrisy, privilege, and elitism. While he has largely avoided major scandals that derail careers, the controversies surrounding his life refuse to fade. Leonardo DiCaprio's relationships have always been as much a part of his public image as his films. While most celebrities face scrutiny for their romantic lives, few have a dating history as notoriously predictable as DiCaprio's. For decades, he has exclusively dated women in their early 20s, all of whom share the common trait of being young, beautiful, and successful models. His dating history reads like a revolving door of Victoria's Secret angels, high-fashion runway stars, and aspiring actresses. From Gisele Bündchen in the early 2000s to his recent romance with model Vittoria Ceretti, every woman who has entered DiCaprio's world fits a highly specific pattern. However, the real controversy surrounding his relationships isn't just about the type of women he dates, it's about the age gap. Time and time again, as DiCaprio ages, his girlfriends remain in their early 20s. The public has pointed out that he has never publicly dated a woman past the age of 25, a detail that has become a running joke across social media. When his relationship with actress Camila Morrone ended shortly after she turned 25, the internet exploded with memes reinforcing the belief that DiCaprio treats relationships like an unspoken contract with an expiration date. Critics argue that his consistent pursuit of much younger women reinforces unhealthy industry standards about aging and desirability, particularly for women in Hollywood. Others defend him, claiming that he is simply living the life of a wealthy single man with access to the world's most beautiful women. Regardless of perspective, the discussion around DiCaprio's dating preferences has overshadowed his personal life for years, turning every new relationship into a headline-worthy debate. Leonardo DiCaprio is more than just a Hollywood actor. He is part of an elite world where only the most powerful figures have access. Over the years, he has built strong connections with billionaires, tech moguls, industry executives, and political power players. While his friendships with fellow actors like Tobey Maguire and Jonah Hill are well known, it's his ties to business tycoons, controversial billionaires, and secretive social clubs that raise questions about how much influence he really holds behind the scenes. One of the most talked about friendships in his social circle is his long-standing relationship with Jeff Bezos. The two have been seen at exclusive private events, yacht parties, and high-profile gatherings, sparking speculation about DiCaprio's growing connections to the billionaire elite. His influence extends even further. He has attended private fundraisers, secret industry retreats, and even exclusive poker games where some of the wealthiest and most influential figures in the world strategize behind closed doors. But with power comes controversy. Some of his associations have drawn negative attention, particularly when linked to individuals facing public backlash or legal trouble. His connections to high-net-worth investors and corporate figures who have been accused of corruption or exploitation have led to speculation about how much influence money plays in his world. Despite his reputation as an artist devoted to his craft, DiCaprio's presence in these elite spaces has raised questions about whether he is truly separate from the billionaires and industry moguls who shape Hollywood behind the scenes. Leonardo DiCaprio has positioned himself as one of Hollywood's most vocal advocates for climate change action. Through his foundation, he has supported countless environmental initiatives, spoken at global summits, and used his platform to warn about the dangers of deforestation, ocean pollution, and fossil fuel dependence. However, while his advocacy has been widely praised, it has also come with a massive contradiction: his own carbon footprint. For years, critics have pointed out the glaring hypocrisy in his climate activism. While he urges governments and corporations to reduce their environmental impact, he frequently travels by private jet, vacations on luxury yachts, and owns multiple energy-consuming mansions across the world. Private jets in particular are one of the worst carbon emitters per passenger, yet reports suggest DiCaprio takes multiple private flights per year. One of the most infamous moments of this controversy came when he flew on a private jet to receive an environmental award, an act that immediately sparked backlash and accusations that his activism was performative. Similarly, his vacations on mega yachts owned by oil billionaires have drawn criticism, as these vessels consume enormous amounts of fuel, contradicting his public stance on sustainability. While DiCaprio has attempted to offset his environmental impact through donations and investments in renewable energy, the contrast between his advocacy and his personal choices has left many questioning whether he is truly committed to the cause or simply using it as a PR strategy. In an era where superhero franchises dominate the film industry, Leonardo DiCaprio has remained one of the only A-list actors who has never joined a cinematic universe. While actors like Brad Pitt, Christian Bale, and Robert Downey Jr. have embraced the blockbuster machine, DiCaprio has actively avoided it. His refusal to take on franchise roles has led to ongoing speculation about his opinion of mainstream Hollywood. Some believe he sees himself above commercial franchises, preferring to work with auteurs and prestige filmmakers instead. Others argue that he simply values creative freedom over financial gain, choosing roles based on artistic merit rather than box office potential. While this choice has helped him maintain a unique position in Hollywood, it has also led to rumors that he is difficult to work with or holds himself to a higher standard than his peers. Regardless of the truth, his absence from major franchises has only added to his mystique and exclusivity as an actor. Despite the controversy surrounding his dating life, social circle, environmental activism, and Hollywood exclusivity, Leonardo DiCaprio has never faced a career-ending scandal. While many celebrities have seen their reputations crumble due to personal missteps or public backlash, he has maintained his prestige, influence, and respect in the industry. But as he continues to age and Hollywood shifts toward a new generation of actors, will his power and influence remain? Did you know that while Leonardo DiCaprio spent 22 years chasing his first Oscar, there's a star who was rejected over 200 times before landing the audition that changed entertainment history? Well, that's Jennifer Lopez, who built a billion-dollar empire after being told she'd never succeed in either music or movies. And you can discover her remarkable reinvention story by clicking on your screen now.